Hi there, and welcome to week 1 in our Social Work 503 Interpersonal Processes. It is Dr. Eileen McCabe-Moucher back here with you again to review the week 1 materials. Now, if you haven't already watched the welcome orientation video that I created for you, please make sure that you go ahead and watch the welcome video first. I know the welcome video is lengthy, so I'm going to keep this week 1 video on the short side because I want you to start off on a positive note. I don't want you to put you to sleep by talking to you, but I also want you to feel supported, and I want to provide you with a lot of helpful information up front so that you can get started on a successful note and end the class on a successful note. So it's my hope that with this course that you're going to feel really connected to other students in the course as well as myself and the MSW program as a whole. So we here at Widener believe that the MSW program is much richer when we can meet each other's human needs to be seen, heard, and known. So we're going to go over several topics this week. We're going to orient you to the MSW program as a whole, but first and foremost, really give you an opportunity to get to know one another better as colleagues. So this really helps us start our work together of developing our interpersonal practice skills as they relate to the social work profession. So the first thing that you want to do is to come down to the Learning Resources section and click on Objectives, Readings, and Media. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to read this awesome article by Dr. Beth Barrell. It's in Chapter 8, and it's Generalist Practice with Groups. It's all about the social work strengths-based generalist practice perspective. So you can actually navigate this reading, find the reading just by clicking on this link here. Then I invite you to watch this video by Daniel Goleman about social intelligence, as well as this introduction to Zoom. So you know that if you've already watched the welcome video that I've given you a brief introduction to Zoom, but watching this Zoom video is important because it's going to be the way that you're interacting and engaging with each other throughout the semester, both in your dyads as well as in your small group projects. So I really want you to feel like you're getting started with Zoom on a good foot. It's pretty user-friendly, but it can be a little bit intimidating at first. So also really important to note here, you want to make sure that you have a Widener University email account in addition to your Engage account here within the platform. So you do get a lot of not so important emails in that account, such as the Engage Discussion Forum Digest, but the Social Work Department and other university departments send you lots of really important information directly to your Widener University email account. So you want to make sure that you are checking that. And this video gives you really detailed instructions exactly how you want to check out that account to make sure you're not missing any important information. So after you complete reviewing all of the objectives, readings, and media, you want to make sure that you hop on over and take a look at the Zoom best practices checklist. Now, again, if you've already watched the welcome video, you know that I carefully review this, and this is something that you can go ahead and read on your own. But it is really important that you put these Zoom best practices into place so you don't have any tech issues while you're using Zoom. Really, the most important thing to do with Zoom is to use a computer, either a desktop computer or a laptop, and not use a phone, tablet, or other device. Make sure that if you are using a laptop that it's plugged in and that you are connected to an Ethernet wired in connection through your router and not Wi-Fi. Those are the really important steps that are going to give you a positive experience using with Zoom. But please make sure that you carefully read this best practice checklist and that you're implementing these ideas so you can have a nice conversation with both your dyad partner as well as your small group colleagues that isn't riddled with tech problems. So after you complete those two items underneath Learning Resources, you want to come down here to these items that are located under Discussions. So the first thing that you want to do is to click on this link entitled Tips for Formatting Discussion Posts. And this includes an awesome video by our very own Professor Jen Norton, where she's giving you some really great strategies through the best way to copy and paste work that you've typed out in Word directly to one of our discussion forums here in the Engage platform. So I strongly recommend that you do your discussion board posts in Word so you can spell check them, make sure that you proofread them, for grammar, clarity, make sure that you're using proper APA style and in-text citations, and then you can just copy and paste them directly into the platform. So again, this is a phenomenal video. It's pretty short, it's straightforward, so it gives you a really good idea about how exactly you can copy and paste so your posts are beautifully formatted and professional looking. So after you watch that, you want to click on our week 1 discussion, which is our icebreaker. So in order to get to know each other, I invite all of you to record and upload a video introduction. So this assignment is for a grade. So you want to make sure you're watching the video embedded here below for directions on how to record a video using the free Screencast-O-Matic tool, which is what I'm using right now. And then you also want to upload your video to YouTube, which is also something that I do as well as all of your instructors here at Widener are doing. So you're recording your video in Screencast-O-Matic, which is a free tool, and then uploading your video to YouTube, which is also free. And then you want to make sure that you post a link to your YouTube video directly here in this forum. So you want to make sure that you watch this video. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So for your introduction, I invite you to tell us your name, including how you'd like to be addressed. I'd also like you to tell us about where you're from. So you don't need to give us the exact town or city, but just a general area, whatever you feel comfortable with, such as the state or perhaps the East Coast or West Coast or Midwest. I invite you to tell us briefly about your work experience, or if you haven't had work experience, telling us about your previous educational experiences would be helpful. I also invite you to tell us a little bit about your personal life, sharing only what you feel comfortable with. And most importantly, I really want you to focus on telling us about how you feel about starting the online program here at Widener. So I know for many of you, it's going to be a time of mixed emotion and ambivalence. Hopefully you're feeling excited about being here in the program, but it's also nervous to feel a little bit anxious, especially about all the demands of balancing graduate school with all of the other things that you're doing in your life and getting used to all of the new technology that you're going to be using here while you're at Widener. So you want to remember to speak slowly and clearly so that we can understand you. And I'm looking forward to meeting all of you and watching your welcome videos. This welcome video does require one response post to a classmate, so preferably to a classmate who doesn't yet have any responses. So in your response post, I invite you to please answer the following question. What shared interests or shared anxieties are you seeing among your classmates? So this initial post is due on Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and your follow-up post is due in between Sunday, or Friday rather, and definitely due by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, that sufficient post will be a working video link and an introduction that requires all of the topical areas that I just went over. A sufficient response post should be a minimum of 75 words and a maximum of 150 words. And again, there's a link to that discussion form grading rubric that's right here for you. If you have any technical difficulties, please don't hesitate to reach out to personal support at 1-844-386-7321 option 3, and then also send me an email and let me know that you're having trouble and that you're working with tech support. So after you upload your icebreaker video, I invite you to click on week 1 discussion entitled Class Agreements. And as a group, we need to establish a class agreement. So for this assignment, I would like all of you to offer 3 rules for the class, along with a rationale or a reason for each rule that you're offering. So you really want to think in terms of rules or guidelines that will create an environment that is safe for discussion, nurturing, and really helps everybody to practice new skills. So once I receive and review all the submissions, I'm going to be creating a master list of the most common and pertinent rules for us to follow throughout the course. So I'll be posting that list in the beginning of week 2. So just to give you an idea, some rules that students have formulated in the past have included the importance of being really respectful to each other. There's a lot of diversity in this classroom in terms of age, gender, race, socioeconomic status, and we really want to make sure that we're not making assumptions that people have the same life experience as we do, and also making sure that we're really respecting and honoring all viewpoints, engaging each other in a really respectful way. Other rules for engagement that we've developed in the past is people have asked other people to identify preferred pronouns that they use. So I really want you to think about what's important for you in terms of co-creating a list. So you're not required to comment on your peers' recommendations, but you are certainly encouraged to if you have something significant to offer. So this initial post is due on Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and your work on the forums this week will be graded as a part of your weekly discussion grade. So now let's review the assignments. So we have a week 1 process note, which is due this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in this process note for this week, week 1, I invite you to respond to the following prompts. Number 1, I'd like you to reflect on your dyad content and process. So reflect on what occurred in your week 1 dyad conversation and how it occurred. So please answer all of the following prompts based on your observations. You want to make sure that you're using subheadings to answer each prompt below. And this should be approximately 1 double-spaced page long. In terms of content, in 2 to 3 sentences, please briefly describe your experience working with your dyad partner with technology. Was it difficult? Was it challenging? Did you have trouble using Zoom? Were you able to get the video working okay? So in 2 to 3 sentences, tell me about how the technology went for you. Then I'd like you to explore your response. So how did you respond to your dyad partner, both inwardly and outwardly? So that includes verbally, non-verbally. What were some of your experiences that you shared? And perhaps what were some of the things that you didn't share that were going on with you? Thirdly, I'd like you to talk about the dyad effect. How did this dyad interaction affect you? Now for number 2, for the large group process, I'd like you to reflect on introductory videos in the icebreaker discussion forum. Did any of your peers move and or validate you? Tell us about it. In what way? Reflect on yourself in the large group process. And how did your peer responses to your post affect you? So this should be approximately 1/2 of a double-spaced page long. So third part of this process note is the reading reflection. So you want to make sure for this part you're using an APA annotated bibliography format. So for more information about this, you want to make sure that you refer back to process notes underneath major projects and assignments. I did briefly review this in our welcome video. So I'd like you to reflect on the assigned reading for this week and complete the following on this reading. Number 1, one, you want to summarize the main points of the reading. Number two, please reflect upon what this reading means to you. And number three, relate this reading to practice. So you want to make sure that you number each part of your reflection according to the questions. And this particular section should be about 1 page, that's 1 double-spaced page long. So as with all assignments in APA style, you want to make sure that you include a title page with your process note. So you don't need to include a reference page since your reflection is set up in an annotated bibliography format. So you want to organize your process notes with headings that label each of the 3 main areas that you're responding to. And your process note should be at least 3 pages long, but no more than 4 pages long. And that includes the title page. So you want to remember that writing clarity and quality will be graded. So this right here is a really detailed process note rubric. So it's telling you the ways that you're going to be graded. So again, you're going to be graded on the clarity of writing and grammar. You're going to be also graded on the dyad content and process, the large group process, and the reading reflection here. So finally, wrapping up here, I just want to review the small group and dyad meetings, which are really the heart and soul of this course. So these weekly assignments will require that students use Zoom to have video conferences with 1 or more of your classmates. So this particular class is very heavy with regard to interaction, and all master's programs that are accredited by the Council on Social Work Education do require these group projects. I know that it can be challenging. I know that everyone is very busy, and again, you have all kinds of things competing for your time, but it is important that you carve out time to set up and engage with your partner as well as your small group. So for the week 1 dyad exercise, I'm going to be assigning each student a dyad partner, and I'm going to be posting this list of dyad assignments by Wednesday of week 1. So once this list is posted, please make sure that you're reaching out to your partner to work on scheduling a time before the end of the week to meet. So this meeting is really meant to be a practice run using Zoom, so using that teleconferencing technology. So also in this particular conversation with your partner, I invite you to discuss what experiences led you to enter our MSW program here at Widener and what kinds of work that you hope to do with your MSW degree in the future. So again, it's really important that you're setting aside time to meet with your dyad partner as well as your small groups partner. As I just said earlier, I'm going to be assigning that dyad partner by Wednesday, and I will be assigning small groups by the end of the week. But in order to do that, I need you to complete this availability poll, because I know we have lots of people in the classroom that are in different time zones, and I like to try to match up people that are within the same time zone if possible. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes we have classes where there are just maybe 1 or 2 people that are in a particular time zone. So it does require some flexibility on your part. But in order for me to be able to assign you to groups, I really need you to complete this availability poll right here as soon as possible, because I know that you're eager to get engaged with your groups, to meet your partner, and to also meet the people that are in your small group. But in order for me to assign those groups, I need you to complete this poll first. So I hope that this information is helpful. I know I've just given you a ton of information. Please remember that if you have any questions at all about course content, I'm here to help you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. If you're having any technical support issues, please make sure that you're contacting the Widener Personal Support Center at this 1-800 toll-free number. You can also contact them via email at widener@personalsupportcenter.com. So I hope that you have a fantastic week. I look forward to receiving your availability polls, and so I can match you up with your partner as well as with your small group mates. So have a great week. I look forward to seeing you on the Engage platform a little later this week.